What's going on, everybody? Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. Bit of a seesaw day today. You had the SPY ripping up right out of the gate, 1030, insane pullback, then back up, and towards the end of the day, another big pullback. The SPY does need to cool off. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. We're also going to talk about the natural state of the market when it comes to the Federal Reserve, because President Biden had finally made a decision. I'm going to talk about how investors feel about that decision. But before we get into it, I want to take a look at this chart right here. Longeveron, ticker symbol LGVN, had an amazing day today. I saw it pop up a little bit after the open today. It was hanging around this about 1150 mark. I said, everybody, we need to look for an after lunch runner. All right, going into power hour, I told everybody keep an eye on this over $12. We got into it at about $12.50 after it decided to curl back around again. And this one was a 200% runner. Haven't had one of these in quite some time. We actually had first picked this up Thursday on our radars, and it had positive FDA data. Played it on Thursday. We tried to play this on Friday. I told everybody to wait for a rip above 1475 to see if it would get, want to give us a little bit more, and it didn't. So we kind of just let this one go but left it on our radar going forward. And sure enough, today picked back up on the scanners, and from $12, about $12.50, I had a $12.44 start on this one, all the way up all day, just consider all afternoon, I should say, just absolutely consistent, never broke support. People were still asking, when can I get into it? I said, listen, wait for it to get above $19 to show you a strong position above $19. As you can see, going actually into power hour, this is about 3:20 on my time, into power hour, and from there it was just off to the races. Continue to hold about $28 close, and then went all the way up to 39. I didn't get into this after hours. It continued to hold support, had a little bit of a yank here from the market makers, and I decided to get out of it as I was really happy with my gains and start making this video. These plays are continuing to happen. Now, small cap stocks have gotten a major beating over the last few weeks. November was a strong start to them. Okay, and investors have kind of shifted their money over into the large cap stocks, which I'm going to give you the positive and the negatives to that, just so you can get an understanding of why the rotation is happening. So first off, they're rotating a little bit away from small caps, because small caps a lot of times run in the red. All right, they're accumulating debt. They're using debt in order to build their company, and they're based all off future revenue. Now, interest rates, all right, are going to start to rise. Jerome Powell, which he is staying as the federal chairman, we'll get into that in just a moment. But interest rates are going to rise over the near future. Now, when a company takes on debt, all right, the amount, as interest rates begin to rise, it just means the amount that they can use for actual capital becomes smaller and smaller. So these stocks become a little bit less attractive. So that's why you've seen a big shift over into the large cap. Now, to play devil's advocate on that one, I think large caps are a little bit overextended. And as we can take a look at the S&P right here, that large caps are beginning to just trade way too far away from their valuation. And it just needs a little bit of a cool off period that is going to happen. So as you can see right here, the SPY hasn't had really much of a pattern. Once it broke that downtrend, which was a new pattern for the SPY, it continued to reach all-time highs, and it made that. I had the uptrend going, and as of today, it did close below that. So keep this in mind going forward. The SPY does need to cool off. I still think we're going to get a nice Santa rally going into the futures, but just understand that some of these small caps that are beaten down, look for them to hit a little bit of a base. When you see them at the floor, to where, if it's a psychological level, if it's a strong support level, and it's not really breaking below that, those are going to be good to, slowly dollar cost average into, start to build a position. Don't just immediately, if your total position could be only 1,000 shares, don't just buy it right away. Give room to add. I did actually give an alert for everybody today to add NEO, as a dollar cost average. EVs have ran really, really strong, and NEO kind of lagged a little bit. There is a little bit of speculation also on Tesla. You can take a look at NEO here. It's kind of lagged a little bit when it comes to Lucid and Tesla. There has been some speculation on Tesla potentially doing a stock split. Go check out Meet Kevin's video on the Tesla stock split potential. He does a great job kind of breaking it down. Now, this is all hypothetical, and it is all, a perspective view. So keep that in mind. But Tesla ran really hard last time they announced there was going to be a stock split. So it is something you want to, keep on your back burner. So go check that out. Now, as far as the overall market, President Biden had renominated Jerome Powell to continue to lead the Federal Reserve. Now, this is good for a couple reasons. Investors like stability. They like to feel comfortable. They want to know exactly what's happening. If you think back to any time that the market has really pulled back, okay, or they've gotten scared and pulled out, it's times of uncertainty. Think about the COVID-19, the entire economy shuts down. All of a sudden the market, smashes 30, 33, 35%, something they've never heard of before. They didn't see it coming. That's uncertainty. So having, Jerome Powell continue, they know his plans when it comes to fighting inflation, how quickly he's going to raise interest rates, what his plans are on the asset tapering. He values the strength of the stock market and the economy. He doesn't get swayed in too many other, directions when other people are trying to feed them their ideas based on their own initiatives. All right. So that is a good thing for the market going forward, and investors are going to feel comfortable. Now, that doesn't mean don't expect to see a little bit of a pullback, especially when it comes to the SPY, because like I said, guys, we're just getting to a point where we are overextended. But for the mid to short term, that 3 to 6 months, it is good. Now, I did tell everybody in my last video, my swing positions, my longs have just shrank down a little bit. You look at AMD, Nvidia, even Apple, Tesla, they've all ran significantly since that August, September pullback, that I feel like I've gotten a good amount of gains out of them, and I'm going to go back to playing the small plays. And like I said, every single day there are runners. There are stocks that come about, like we talk about, even this one right here, like I'd mentioned. All right, there's another one, GTEC. There's a couple other ones that we had today, but there are stocks that run every single morning pre-market, and we get to build those support and resistance. Now, if you are somebody like myself and a lot of people inside the group, come check it out, because like I said, I laid down those support and resistance, when to enter a stock or when to start to short a stock, okay, or what to wait for to where the stock is going to decide to move. We get to play these every single day. If you are fortunate like me, I get to sit in front of my computer every single day, then you can really capitalize on this. Now, if you are somebody that works or only gets to check in at the phone, we're able to set these. You identify support, identify resistance, able to get into them pre-market or get into them at the open. As long as the stock shows you the direction it wants to move, you can set your trailing stop losses. You can set your stop limits, right at support and resistance of the breaks, and be able to get out of these plays. And like I said, we're continuing to find these runners almost on a daily basis. Now, they don't all work out just like everything. This is the stock market. Nothing is perfect, but I'm going to continue to play these while we are in the market that we're in. And I talk about that all the time. I'm not one that I really would love to get into stocks that are beaten down, like we did, in Tesla and Lucid, just a few while ago, and run those swings. Just like you wake up in the morning and you have to do no work, no research, and your portfolio is just green. I love that. But you really got to give, what the market is willing to give you. And right now, seeing that is just a little bit overextended. Some of our, long, large caps have just run really far. They need to cool back a little bit. I'm going to continue to play these small plays. And then I'll continue to reach out to some of these swings. Now, these swings are not going to be 50 to 100% swings. All right, not until small caps start to heat back up. But getting the 10, 15% swings, even if it's only on a couple-day basis, by the time I alerted Neo, I think I already reached about 10% as a high today. But like I said, that's where we're going to continue. So keep that in mind for yourself going forward, just to understand the state of where the market is and where the rotation is. All right. So remember that. If there's one thing you get out of this video, remember that small caps have been beaten down. The market runs, in cycles. It rotates, and investors are going to shift their money back over there. So you find a good support level of some of these stocks that are good companies. I don't mean, crap companies that are beaten down. I mean just good small cap companies that do have potential. Okay, they are, you got to do a little bit of research. You can't only look at the charts, but you coincide both those together, start to add a position, dollar cost average into them. Like I said, you're going to reap some awards going forward once that market rotates around. So guys, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.